Hi everyone, welcome to the first project help video for STA 371G. Today I'll be going over a few things relevant to the project. So first, when you open the file, instead of importing the dataset as you normally do, open File once you've downloaded it from the Module section of Canvas and select either the FWB or the Add Health Public dataset. Once you open the file, it will appear in the top right in the global environment. So the first thing we'll go over is making a new data frame. To do this, simply type the name of the new data frame, which I've denoted as dfnew, equals data.frame, you'll always use this, and then whatever columns you want to include. This is just so it's easier to deal with fewer columns rather than all 976 variables. So here I've chosen the columns H4 to 34 and H4 to 36, and don't forget to put a $sign after the data set. So when we run that, we can see that we have the dfnew set, the new data frame, and we can see that it only contains those two columns. So next, let's say we want to rename the variables instead of H4 to 34 and H4 to 36. It's easier to work with them if we rename them. Names, the name of your new data frame, equals C, and then whatever you want to call them. So once I run this, we can look back at the columns, and now it's named age and num drinks, which are easier to understand than the H4 to H34. Let's say you want to remove data. To do this, write the name of your data frame, $sign, whatever column you want to remove it from, and remember to write the renamed column if you decide to rename the variables. Then open brackets, new data frame name, $sign, whatever the column is again, and then whatever criteria. So here is you want to filter them out if they're greater or equal to 96, and then have a close bracket equals NA. This is just denoting that we're going to change all values above 96 to NA. So for example, we have 97 in age. So once we run this, we can go back and look at the data frame, and now every value in age above or equal to 96 will change to an NA. Notice it did nothing to the num drinks column because we did not specify that. Instead, we just specified age. Next, let's go over to some helpful things to do when you're making figures to assess the information. So first will be side-by-side box plot if you have a categorical and a quantitative variable. To do this, type box plot, the quantitative variable in column, and tilde, and then the categorical one. So for example, this is my quantitative, this is my categorical. I have box plot, I have the data set names followed by a $sign with a tilde in between. I can run it and it generates the box plot. Next, for quantitative variables, you can make correlations. You can find the correlation and make scatter plots. To do this, do core data $X, comma data $Y. It doesn't really matter the order because correlation's a symmetrical property. You can put it in either way and you'll get the same number. Notice that in addition to this, I used use equals complete obs in quotation marks. The reason why is because since we removed some data for age, there are just NAs for age and there's a corresponding num drink. So to find the correlation, we need to use complete obs because it's telling R only find the correlation based on the numbers that are in complete sets, and our observations are complete, instead of just one number being blank. To make the scatter plot, you can use plot y tilde x or plot x comma y. So for example, if age is x and num drinks is y, we can run this to get the plot, and we can also get it by doing y tilde x, num drinks tilde age. Remember, you can use this arrow right here to go back and forth between your plots. You don't need to keep rerunning the line. Last command I'll go over that's helpful for the project is tapply. So what tapply does is you put in different variables you want to look at, and then you put in a function you want to run. And if you have NAs, you can put in na.rm equals true, telling R to ignore the NAs, so the numbers can be calculated. So for example, let's say I have num drinks and age. So I run it, and then I get different num drinks based on the ages. So for all, it's combining these variables and giving me the mean amount for each age. So this is helpful because instead of finding the mean for just the age or mean of the num drinks, you get it divided nicely where you can assess a lot of information at once. You can also change mean to standard deviation, for example, or you can change it to 5 num if you want it to provide the 5 num summary. And another helpful reminder is remember type question mark before a function if you want to know what it does, and it will tell you. You can do it for any function. So if you forget what tapply does, you can type question mark tapply and it will pull it up. So I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching.